Hey, Gator Nation. Welcome back to the Respect Our Decision podcast. This is episode 9, Kentucky Week. And as always, we want to thank y'all for all the support, love, and listens on our last episode, our Raw Reactions episode for Utah. And now we're on to the next week, guys. Best part about 1-0 is the chance to go 2-0. So with that being said, we want to make sure we always remind y'all to please go ahead and download us on all your podcast providers, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, wherever you get your podcast at. And if you are just listening around on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and follow our YouTube page, subscribe to it, give us a like on each and every video we post. Helps us out tremendously. And as always, guys, if you'd like to support us as creators, you can visit our Patreon, Respect Our Decision. We have tiers that you can donate to. We're going to have some very special content coming to that very shortly. Want to always go ahead and recognize Utah Gator, our very first Patreon. And with that being said, guys, we also want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Camwood Supplements. If you guys are out there looking for clean supplements that, to help you with your workout, your recovery, your digestive system, make sure you visit camwoodsupplements.com. Use code RESPECT20, save yourself 20% off your first purchase. I suffer from ulcerative colitis. I've been using the super greens, and I've been able to notice a tremendous difference in just using it in a short time. So shout out to our sponsor, Camwood Supplements. And with that being said, guys, we're going to jump right on into recruiting first, like we always do. Our man Wes is going to give us some breakdowns on just some of the Friday night high school performances before the weekend kicked in. And with that being said, Wes, what you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Gator Nation? Again, thank you guys for all the support. We're going to first start off with our boy Trion Webb. He's one of the leaders in the class, so it's only right that we start off with him. Trion had 28 carries for 301 yards, and that's 5 touchdowns on the years. That's his yearly yardage right there. We also had Stokes this week, bouncing back from last week. He did get injured again in this game, but he also had 2 rushing TDs. We saw some things from Andy Jean. He caught a couple screen passes that he turned into some big gains. So his kid is still just doing what he does. Then Aiden Mizell, he was out with the injury, so he didn't really play this week. Some of our targets, of course, I know you guys know that we're on the 24 guy, DJ Lagway. He got hurt this week, so he didn't finish his game, but with just a little minor sprained ankle from what we've gathered. Keon Keeley, another big target. This is 23 class, 5-star DN. He had 2 sacks. Caden McDonald, a guy that Mike really wants in the class, 23 guy, knows he's already got 5 sacks on the season with 11 tackles for loss. So that kid is balling out early in the season, and one guy that I agree with Mike on that we really need in this class as far as the nose. So those are some of the guys there. I don't know if you guys wanted to speak on those guys or not, in some of their performances, some of the guys that you like on that list.
Get me McDonald.
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say the exact same thing.
That's it.
By hook or by crook. Not to backtrack too much, but like we were saying on the recap, Clemson looked kind of suspect this week. I'd really like to see Clemson maybe drop a few more games and maybe put this one out of doubt for us, because Caden McDonald is an absolute stud. If I would gladly trade Russaw and Smith from Alabama for Keeley McDonald combo every day of the week. So
I second that. I second that.
The kid just I know we've raved on him a lot, and I know Mike's need for a true nose. He is a true zero technique kid. I watched a podcast for 247 today with Andrew Ivins on there, and he was once again reiterating that he thinks that we're one of the favorites, kind of neck and neck with Clemson for that kid. So hopefully we can get that door.
Only
closed.
problem is that D-line's not going anywhere.
That's true.
Hate to break it to you. I mean, you could say what you want about their offense. Their defense is fine, let alone their D-line, which has multiple first-round picks.
The SEC just means more. Let's just go with that.
All right.
All right. Well, that being said, guys, we want to just hit up on a few recruiting updates. And I think the first and foremost thing right now is the updates with Roderick Kearney. Rumors started to spread early in the week that it looked like Kearney might be in line to possibly flip or at least decommit, from FSU, and it's still going. I mean, the rumors are still out there. He put out some cryptic tweets last night saying that he's still committed right now, but he also said he's not doing any interviews. So if you want to read between the lines on that, the kid's trying to deflect, take a little pressure off of him, probably keep the media from blowing his phone up. I mean, you got to respect that from a teenage kid. I know he's probably taking a lot of heat right now. So,
hey, I got a quick question. What position does, and if I didn't hear it, my apologies, these headphones get to me sometimes. What position does he play?
Offensive tackle.
It's interesting. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like certain individual was patient and let the coaches coach and coaches recruit and didn't jump to conclusions like another one of my colleagues.
So you're saying he's committed already?
I'm not saying he's committed. I'm just saying it took all of one game.
I will say.
All I'm saying is people are, a lot of people are literally freaking out. Hey, what about the board? The board. Listen, I didn't like the board either. However, I had people. It took one game. People were liking the coaches in terms of production. That's something we'll obviously talk about later. But it didn't even take production to get into the game. When the school is committed to, had a huge game out in New Orleans.
Absolutely.
And they could have gotten there some unofficial, whatever. But he could have got there, and that's a nice city to go to for a young kid. So all I'm saying is these guys obviously have something they can recruit, especially, and this is one of the top kids that I've wanted. So tip of the iceberg.
And with that being said, I mean, we're going to talk about visitors in a minute, but he's returning Saturday for the Kentucky game. You don't come to 2 games in a row unless you're, you're pretty locked in, or at least locked in with interest. Let me just say that. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to put my, all our eggs in the basket yet, but it sounds like there's some real definite traction there. And word is just small rumor is if that happens, the smoke is we'll immediately start going after Simmons as well. We're not done with Lucas Simmons either. So I have been told to just keep an eye on Georgia though, as far as it goes for Kearney, because they are pushing on him heavily as well. Now granted, if he goes ahead, commits or flips and doesn't visit, all that's for naught, but none of that's happened yet. So let's just let's see what happens this weekend. I think him coming in 2 weeks in a row is says a lot. So
be patient.
Keeping in line with this week's visitors, I know everyone knew Keon Keeley was coming this week. Very big deal made out of that last week that Keon was coming for an official visit. Well, that has been changed to an unofficial visit. And that was not done by Keon Keeley. That was done by our staff. I know Wes has alluded to this in the past, that our staff is heavily focused on trying to get visits later in the season. And from what we've heard, mainly for the LSU game, that is when they're trying to stack the visitors list. And guys, do not think for a second this is bad news that this visit has been moved back. The later your official visit, the better you position yourself to get that commitment. This is an Urban move. He used to do the same thing. You always want to position yourself for the last visit. And with so many kids taking early visits this year, a lot of those visits are burned up. So we've put ourselves in really good position to focus on football and everything that goes with the football team early, and then really focus on those official visits later. Moving on to another piece of news. If you did not listen to our Raw reaction episode, directly after the game, I mean, literally 30 minutes probably after the game ended, Cormani McClain got a crystal ball from Steve Whitfong to the University of Florida. No way of spinning that. That's huge news. It's very unusual for him to put in a crystal ball unless he has some kind of information to let him know that is either imminent or happening. It's not out of the realm that he could obviously go back and change that if something were to change, but all signs right now point to the Gators being in a tremendous position for Cormani McClain. And hopefully we get that sooner than later. That's all we can really say. One small other piece of news that came out yesterday is our boy Trion Webb. Wes talked about how much of a good season he's already off to this year. He was selected to be in the Army All-American game in San Antonio last night. So that's a tremendous honor for Trion, and just once again speaks to what a caliber athlete we're getting at running back with him. So that's all the real recruiting news we got right now, guys. Nothing's really changed from last week. No real earth shakers other than those few things we just mentioned. We'll always keep you updated when things come out. So that being said, Wes is going to go ahead and run down the visitor list for the Kentucky game for us. Wes?
Yeah, for the Kentucky list, as far as the guys that are coming in, these are the committed guys. Of course, Webb will be back in town. All these visits, by the way, are unofficial visits. Hirsch kind of alluded to that. The staff wanted to focus on the game early in the year, trying to figure out how a game day operates now that they're at Florida. So big things. That's big news and good news for us as they try to focus on the games and learn how that goes. But first, again, Trion Webb, like I said, he'll be in town. Cameron James, D-line commit, he'll be in town. TJ Searcy, D-line commit, he's in town. Kebby Collins from out the state of Alabama, our commit, he's in town. Jakeem Jackson, DB, he will be back in town. Tyree Patterson, our wide receiver commit, he's in town. Recent linebacker commit, Jaden Robinson will be in town. Another D-line commit, all these D-linemen. Gavin Hill, he'll be in town. And of course, our QB in the class, Marcus Stokes, he'll be in town as well. And then we have a walk-on DB commit as well. Amon Covington, he'll be in town as well. And there's 23 receiver. This is non-commit Brian Green. He has a walk-on offer as well. He's the teammate of Roderick Kearney, the before mentioned Roderick Kearney, the offensive lineman that we're trying to flip from Florida State. We have a 2025 linebacker who has an offer, Montrez Walker. He'll be there as well. As far as some 2023 guys that's uncommitted as well, Hirsch already alluded to Keon Keeley will be back in town. Kearney is supposed to be back again. And Bryce Thornton, a four-star safety, should be in town as well. 2024 guys, that quarterback we need in the class, Derek Gladway, 5-star QB. He will be in town to experience the atmosphere. So you guys make it loud, those who are going. The 2024 tight end, he's committed to LSU at this time. Tavion Galloway from the state of Ohio, he'll be there. Top 100 linebacker, Darius Hayes. That's a guy that Miles Graham has been after, and he continues to go after, trying to get another linebacker to pair with himself. So those guys will be in town as far as right now for the Kentucky game. This is Wednesday night, so that it may be subject to change, guys. So, but as far as right now, those are the guys that you can expect there. So to experience the atmosphere, hopefully that the Gator Nation brought last week.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Before we get to the game, we want to go ahead and call out and recognize some of our guys that were got awards this week. In case you haven't heard already, SEC Offensive Player of the Week went to Anthony Richardson. And he was just now also today awarded with the Maxwell Award Player of the Week, which is a tremendous national honor. So, just really, really good stuff there. And Brenton Cox was named the co-SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week. Guys, what does that tell us about our talent level that we've got all these, week one, we're already getting all these awards?
I like it. A lot of people were kind of downplaying us, said we didn't have any preseason All-American SEC caliber guys that were being recognized. So to have those two guys in week one stand out and win awards. They didn't even talk about Richardson, the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks. They had Levis and of course Bryce Young, and I think it was the kid down in South Carolina, Spencer Rattler, was ahead of Anthony Richardson. So for him to come out week one and win that award, and for Cox also to get that D-line award, I think that's big time for, especially in a big time game. It wasn't just like we were playing some Rudy Poo team. It was another powerful team. So,
yes,
that sounds for the
Wes was a part of the Attitude Era.
Wes doing the hype man, giving his best
the bottom
impersonation. Oh my goodness,
that's the bottom line.
Oh my goodness.
Also,
go ahead, Mike.
No worries. No, for Cox, he's, like I've been saying, he's been treating this off season like a man on a mission. This season's a business trip for him, and he showed it by his effort. With those 10 plus tackles. I don't care who you are, especially as a defensive lineman. You have that many tackles, you're hustling. And that many snaps as well. He was aggressive throughout the game, and it showed on the stat line. So I'm glad he's being recognized for his efforts. And I think, it's only going to get better moving forward. And, AR, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Absolutely. Just tremendous all-around week for the Gators. Sorry about that, guys. Tremendous all-around week for national recognition for the Gators all around ever since that victory. The media we've become media darlings all of a sudden. Not sure I like it, but
a total 180 to 1 week for a total 180 in terms of
that's right. And that's
literally 180.
If we have any kind of slip up whatsoever, we know already how that will go. Everybody will say, well, maybe we were wrong again. And, it'll go the other way as quickly as it went this way. So the only way to remedy that is just keep on winning.
And also, really quick, Hirsch, in terms of that jump from the rankings going, from unranked to 12 in the AP poll, in my opinion, what that says is, I didn't personally, I know we had some just not all of us agree, which is fine. But I think what that says is we had a lot of projections, which is what some of us agreed on. However, they're like, you guys have the ability, but you guys have to prove it. Well, guess what we did? They're like, okay, you know what? Fine. We'll swallow our, you're right. You guys are right. You guys played like a top 15 team, and I think we're ranked accordingly.
And it's funny how many people come out of the woodwork then, and you hear it all the time. Rankings don't matter early in the season, this, that, and the other. But it's awfully funny to watch all the people now complain that we jumped up all the way to 12th, when rankings don't matter early in the season. So, it's all going to shake out. By week 8, we're going to have an idea of who's who, and, things are going to be where everyone needs to be. Let it play out. It doesn't do rankings matter right now? For trolling.
I got a couple off.
Yeah. So, just let it play out. You keep winning. The rankings take care of themselves. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Some certain folks told me games got to be played, or apparently turned out to be game singular.
Yeah, but when they get played, they don't like the results when it doesn't go to their narrative. But anyway, that being said, guys, it's Kentucky week, and we've got some receipts to pull on.
Yeah, so just start out. This Kentucky at a glance. We're all familiar with Mark Stoops. He's entering his 10th season as the head coach of Kentucky. Last week, actually, his win over to Miami of Ohio tied Bear Bryant for the programs for being the program's winningest head coach. So we definitely don't want to be on the make him the winningest with this coming week. He has a current record of 60 and 53 overall, including 10 and 3 last year. Obviously, don't let that record fool you because he had to build that up from literally nothing from the Joker Phillips era. And they were picked by most media outlets, including the Antichrist Dan Mullen, to finish second in the SEC East behind Georgia. So there is talent there. What they did, however, they did lose 3 starters from their normal staple of the program, the offensive line, aka the blue wall, which they always go by. How good were they exactly last year? Well, they had 3 NFL starters move on to the NFL, including 2 that were drafted. That's Darian Kennard and Luke Fortner. They were selected in the NFL draft, and Dare Rosenthal signed as an undrafted free agent. Now, their O-line moving forward, they have some holdovers. However, they do have 3 new starters, but they actually at each position group. So there's 5 position group. Each position has a new player. So some shuffling of the cards there, and I definitely think between the crowd noise and our pure talent, it's going to go to our favor. Now, some offseason awards for them, like I was saying, they did finish second in the East, so there is talent there. So. And first team All SEC, that would be running back Chris Rodriguez Jr. Now, he's a special case in this scenario. He's not expected to play due to suspension stemming from an offseason DUI plea deal. His original suspension was for multiple games, and allegedly this is out of Stoops' control. But I'll believe it when I'm at the game on Saturday. Stoops said Monday Rodriguez was unavailable for the Miami of Ohio game, and he said last Monday he's expected to have a few players have multiple game suspensions. He declined then to specify which players are suspended, including Rodriguez. Last season, he had 1,379 yards with 12 touchdowns on the season. Now, for the offensive line, Kenneth Horsey is the second team SEC, and QB Will Levis is third team SEC. Now, Levis, I'm not a big fan of him at all. However, last year he did rank 8th in the SEC in total offensive yards per game at 245.2 yards last season. And another weapon of theirs on offense, wide receiver Tavion Robinson, third team SEC. But on defense, they're definitely support a solid squad. They're led by linebacker DeAndre Square. He's third team SEC. Now, last year, he was hurt. However, there is some more talent on the offensive line. He's currently the center, but last year, Eli Cox, he played right guard. He was named a midseason All-American by ESPN at the position and the Associated Press. So once again, there's a couple spots where there is significant talent, but there's 5 new starters across the line just at the positions. Now, moving on to week 1 with Kentucky. Versus Miami of Ohio. The score on that was 13 Miami of Ohio to 37 Kentucky. Now, the thing about this was truly a tale of 2 halves. It was only Kentucky was only up by 13 to 10 at the half, and they truly did pull away and forced their will in the second half. Now, that being said, some of the stats on the game, Miami of Ohio, their script initial drive was brilliant. It was for 75 yards and 13 plays for a game-opening touchdown. Drive included third and fourth down conversions, which accumulated in a 22-yard touchdown drive. Now, major stat to remember on the game for them, they had 4 QB sacks. This is really big and something we will continue to harp on. Now, for Kentucky, Will Levis, he had a decent game. He was 21 to 32, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. In general, he was inconsistent though he had 1 interception and it came in an end zone where he locked in on his tight end for what seemed to be a pretty easy touchdown, but it turned out to be an easy pick for the defense. He also multiple times threw behind his targets and threw unnecessary fastballs. Now, moving down, the star of that offense, it's going to be wide receiver Tavion Robinson. He has a stat line of 6 receptions, 136 yards, for a 22.7-yard average and no touchdowns. Also, Barium Brown had a 100-yard TD kickoff return. Now, their offense, we just covered some of the stats there. However, something that really was a detriment to them that they're actually known for, their rushing attack had a grand total of 26 carries for 50 yards. Yes, you heard that correct. You heard that correctly. That's 1.9 average and no touchdowns. The two running backs with carries going to be Kavosli Smoke, 7 carries for 32 yards rushing or 4.6-yard average, and running back Jaton McClain, 6 carries for 16 yards rushing with 2.7-yard average. Now with the defense, now they had 3 sacks, and they did play very solid on the day. 3 sacks, 4 tackles for losses, 2 forced fumbles, both recovered by cornerback Keydron Smith, but no interceptions on the day. With their special teams, now this is, in my opinion, the best special team unit in the whole entire conference. They were just absolutely stars, and they won them the game, in my opinion. Barium Brown, he scored like I said, he had a kickoff return for the touchdown and 100 yards. That was their first one since 2009. Tavion Robinson had 2 punt returns for 25 yards, at a 12.5-yard average. They also had a block punt, and there's true star on the team besides Tavion Robinson. It's going to be Matt Ruffalo. He went for 7-7 on kickoff touchbacks, 4 of 4 extra points, 3 of 3 on field goals at a long of 50 yards. And it's just some miscellaneous stats, 2 of 8 on third down and 6.1 yards per play. And it's just some takeaways from that. Chris Rodriguez, as you saw earlier, was missed severely. Levis looked decent, as I said, and their O-line was just bad, period. And their special teams, once again, is a game changer. And some of the injuries, the injury bug truly did bite them on this one. So they actually lost. They're already suffering from depth with Rodriguez being out. But they actually lost their FCS All-American transfer, Raymond Jefferson. He with a torn ACL. Also, in the fourth quarter, Juton McClain had to be helped off the field with a lower leg injury. And then once again, he had 6 carries for 16 yards. Now, Hirsch, what do you want to touch on some of the strengths of the team? You're on mute, Hirsch.
My bad, guys. That's what happens when you're sitting there letting Mike just rock out some of those stats for y'all. I just want to sit back and listen. Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, I mean, special teams. These guys get it done, man. Kickoff return for touchdown. That was like their first one since like 2008, I believe they said. Block punts. Just stars all over the place on special teams. These guys really they do special teams like we're kind of wishing we do special teams right now. So kind of reminds me of the urban era and the way we played special teams then. Like you said, good receivers. I'm really was impressed by what I saw from Tavion Robinson when I watched their highlights. Kid was everywhere. Very shifty guy. Very elusive. I've got a good feeling that Marshall's going to be following him around the field, probably making sure that we keep that kid kind of in our eyes. And I mean, the defense, I mean, the defense looks solid. I mean, once again, they're playing Miami of Ohio, so you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt, but in result, you got 5 punts, 2 field goals, a fumble, and then flipped it on downs on the final drive. I mean, the defense played the way they needed to play. I mean, I'm sure Stoops would wholeheartedly say they could play better, but they're not gonna allow us, I think, to just do whatever we want. What are y'all's thoughts on the strengths of that team?
I mean, I feel as far as you pointed out, I mean, Levis to Robinson, we have to take away Robinson. That should be our number one focus coming into the game. I don't know, gonna bracket him. I don't know how we're gonna just let Marshall try to see if he can hold up one-on-one, man-to-man, and maybe focus if he's that guy. If Marshall's who we think Marshall should be, then you tell you put him on the island and see how it goes for a little while. And if he struggles, then you maybe double later on in the game. I don't know how Tony is going to approach this. I'll be interested to see how Marshall has come on in the second year and see what we can do. But as far as their strength, that's to me is it. Levis to Robinson. We have to put him in rest because if he has a big day, then we have a long day. So that's their strength to me, and the guy I'm focused on coming into the game.
Mike, you got anything to talk about on their strengths?
Yeah, just not even Robinson, just overall, just the group as a whole. It is a young group, but there's just talent all over the place, and the special teams. I can't. Like the stats on this are ridiculous. When you can literally attack from everything but the field goal block. I mean, you're blocking punch. I think had like a 23-yard return on that one. That's it's a huge shift. Not even let alone momentum, but yardage. That kicker is a weapon. So almost anywhere on the field, and that kickoff return. And so if you just it's when you have special teams like that, it can truly change a game when you're at a talent disadvantage like they are.
For sure. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the weaknesses. I mean, it's hard
I think the biggest weakness, and I'll touch on it before, the blue wall has cracks. If not, it has fully crumbled. It's I saw that they lost a lot of talent, and apparently they didn't have the upperclassmen or just pure talent to truly replace it. They're bringing back a couple of guys, but they're not at the same positions. So that's one. It's the second game. They just moved. They benched their left tackle for the who was their left guard last week. So that tells you how good he was playing. He was a turnstile, but I heard one guy quoted as. And so it's like I said, the normal staple. It's just they're awful right now, and that trickles down to yes, they're missing Chris Rodriguez. However, you're rushing for 50 yards overall against Miami of Ohio. Their running backs look like crap. So they're not as talented there. I mean, they some injuries and suspensions, but end of the day, you still need to make some yards. So running back depth and pure talent is another thing as well. So, and I just think the consistency that goes with Will Levis, once again, I don't think he's a good quarterback. I don't care what scout puts him where. He's inconsistent. He always has been. He threw for, I want to say, 87 yards against a Todd Grantham-led offense at home, where he had everything working for him, all the weapons in the world. So so pretty much, I would say that would sum it up because I'm a big fan of their defense overall.
Yeah, and as far as like you were saying, I watched some highlights of that game. Their offensive line there were plays where some of their offensive linemen got just pushed to the ground on a lot of the plays. And this is by a much less physical team than we're going to give them. So we'll talk some more about that in a minute. Their running game, is depleted. If Rodriguez does not play, they should not be able to run the ball for anything on us. They should not be able to run the ball at all.
They shouldn't touch 75 yards.
No. If they couldn't get 50 yards against Miami of Ohio and 20-plus carries, they better not. Unless they break one long one, and this will go back to our defensive line needing to be in assignments and play contained and not make some of the mistakes maybe we made against Utah. Not saying that Levis I don't think Levis is as mobile and as smart on his feet as Rising was.
He can
pick up some yards if he needs. If he needs to pick up the yards, he'll pick up the yards.
He can definitely get about 15, 20 yards.
So don't just go into the game thinking that he can't run on you and then give up a 20, 25, 30-yard run because you just neglected it. Play your assignments. Wes, you want to hit on any of these strengths?
Y'all, you guys kind of – yeah. Yeah, you guys kind of, nailed it. The offensive line to me, when I watched them, a condensed version of the game against Miami, how they got destroyed. I don't know if that kind of was some of the inconsistent play at quarterback that Mike alluded to, because Robinson had 6 for, 106 or something like that. So he was getting the ball to the guys when he had time. It was just when he didn't have a lot of time. And then that kind of factors into with college football sacks counting to rushing. So even though they're saying they only had 50 yards, I would want to know how many of those 4 sacks total into.
I want to say it was only like 18 yards. It wasn't anything drastic.
Okay.
It was like something like 6 or 18. I mean, I could double check that, but it wasn't like, oh my goodness, all right, he has 40 yards. So regardless, if you're rushing, it's less than 70. It's an FCS school, so there's no excuse for any. Put at 75 yards.
Yeah, that was going into my point. I just wanted to know how many, in totality, how much that would have been. But still, you still got to go over 100 and something yards every time when you play an FCS school, like you just stated. So that was pretty lethargic, and that was pitiful. I mean, they got to do better. That was anemic on their part, and that shouldn't be something that we should be able to stop. Shouldn't be like we played Utah, and especially if your 2 top backs are out, one because of suspension, another because of injury, and I mean, we should be able to dominate them there as far as the O-line, as far as hurrying Levis and as far as making them one-dimensional. To me, that is a key as far as their offensive line play. It's anemic, and we should be able to dominate with the guys we have up front. I'll be interested to see if our boys can bounce back with sacks this week that they didn't get last week. So, I want to see Levis play too as well, though. I want to see what the hype is about. I know he didn't do well against Todd Grantham last year, but I want to see him in this environment, it being loud in the swamp. I want everybody to, because I'm tired of people. To me, it's about me hyping up AR. So I want to see that those guys go one-on-one this week.
For sure. Mike, you had a quote you wanted to share with us.
Yeah. So Brett Dawson from the Carrier Journal up in Kentucky. Well, he had a few things in an article of his. And the headline actually starts out, there were breakdowns in pass protection, the 4 sacks allowed, the running game that never got going. So that kind of just touches on, emphasizes what we just spoke about. Some of the highlights from the article. Levis professed that he never felt more disappointed in a 300-yard, 3-touchdown performance in my life. The offensive line broke down around him too, and that will be Kentucky's key concern against Florida. Veteran guard Kenneth Horsey was less than 100% in camp, and as he recovered, the Cats found him some practice snaps. Horsey didn't start Saturday. Yager Burton got the nod at left guard instead, but he did see some snaps. And Kentucky started redshirt freshman David Wallaby at left tackle, making him a first collegiate start against guarding QB's blind side. So it just, it's just once again touches what we were talking about with that O-line. David Wallabaugh got benched, but I mean, Horsey is he good? Yes. Is he injured? Obviously. So we have an injured left tackle, and I'll happily take my defensive ends over there, Princely and Brenton Cox, the SEC co-defensive lineman player of the week.
For sure. We've definitely got some advantages we need to take advantage of. Moving on to Florida, guys, we're not going to talk a whole lot. I mean, obviously, we're not going to sit here and break down our strengths and weaknesses. We did a lot of that last week. And also, if you want to go listen to our Raw Reaction episode, we talk a little bit more in depth about what went right, what went wrong, if all that goes. What we are going to do is we're going to talk about areas that need improvement in order to beat Kentucky this week. And, we're going to start with just getting off the field on defense. I mean, obviously that was a big weakness for us in the second half of the game was getting off the field and letting our defense get some rest. What do you guys think about, as far as that goes, about the defense and what we need to do to get off the field?
Got to win on first and second down. I said this last week. A lot of people and fans and media, what was their third down conversion? It's 3rd and 4. That's advantageous for the offense. We got to make it 3rd and 6 and plus. We got to do that. We got to win on first and second down. Kind of put it behind the sticks. That's something we failed against Utah. We got to do better in that area. If you win first and second down, you put yourself in better position to win third down. That's football 101. I mean, I'm pretty sure D coordinators talk about that. That's something that you got to do. You got to win on first and second down. to put yourself in better positions to win on third down. Because if you look at the numbers, it's harder to get 3rd and 6 and plus than it is to get 3rd, 4 and 1 in. Because at that point, the offense coordinator can do a lot of things. I remember, I think Hurst talked about it in the podcast on Sunday about he was hoping that they were going to pass on a 3rd and 4 or 5 or something, and they ran the ball. I mean, when things like that happen, you gotta. I mean, you give the offense coordinator you at his will because he can do anything. And then if they're on plus side of the field, they might run for 3 yards and it's 4th and 1. Then they're going for the 4. So I mean, you win early, put them behind the sticks, and that's how you. That's to me, that's the key to getting off the field.
Mike.
This is gonna expand on what Wes said, but just in general, get the defense and preserve the defensive line. Our defensive line, it's our weakness is defensive line depth, so it actually matches up perfectly. Our weakness is their weakness in terms of this offensive line, so that should help us. It's not a strength like going against a strength like Utah. But end of the day, you got to get off the field. You have to get off the field. Gervin Dexter cannot get 68 snaps. If he does, you're not going to get an all-SEC player, first-round caliber talent, because he's too winded. You can't have Desmond Watson playing 28 snaps. So you need to be able to get off the field, not sustain those long drives. Get him in, and it goes to Wes's point. Win early, win first down. You can't start at 2nd and 4. You get him in that down and distance. And you win those early downs. It's gonna let Brenton Cox, Princely truly put the ears back and go. So everything adds up at the end of the day. So once again, he's just got to get up the damn field. Sorry, there's one more thing. Just no turnovers. That's another thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to me. That was going to be the biggest point. Is let's play clean football this week. Let's not take any momentum out of ourselves whatsoever or out of the crowd. Just keep pounding away at it. Take what's there. Put both hands on the ball. I always want our backs to fight for extra yardage, but just put the ball away. Let's. If you've got a big gain, let's tuck it away and take what you got and keep the ball in our possession. Keep the clock moving. Keep Levis off the field. That's the biggest deal to me.
Hey, and Hirsch.
Yeah.
Another couple of things we got to contain because, like you were saying, Levis, he does have, he's not slow, but the main thing, finish your pressures. We did get, near. We had, I want to say, we had 5 hurries last game. No sacks. So you got to finish your pressures. For sure.
So we're going to do this every week. We're going to pick our impact player that we each think, is going to have the biggest impact on the game this week. I'm going to start off with Wes. Wes, who's your impact player?
Yeah, this week I'm going to go with Ricky Pearsall. I'm hoping that we did take a few shots. Even the 49, we took one shot, but I don't want to say we took a shot because the ball was never thrown. But even on the play, on the run that AR ran, that was a deep shot play. But of course, they covered up the 2 guys, one deep, and I think one coming across the middle. So he did what God gave him the ability to do, and he ran it for 49 yards. But I'm hoping that we can take a couple shots this game, see if we can open up a little bit. Utah had a great secondary. That was probably the strength of their defense, one of the strengths of the defense, probably the strength of the defense. So being that I don't think that Kentucky is up to that level, I want to see Ricky get off because everything the AR threw to him last week, I mean, that kid was snatching it, and you can see the burst that he has. Even though he kind of got hit as soon as he caught the ball coming across the middle. So I want to see him in open space and let that kid fly. So that's my pick to click this week.
Mike?
Ken Harp, I'll bring him up again. Brenton Cox, co-defensive SEC player, D lineman of the week. He's going to eat, bottom line. He played tremendous last week, and that was against a strong veteran. Utah offensive line this week, they're the chicks. This is bottom line. They are not a good offensive line. Their left tackle's injured. Their right tackle's a JUCO, the former JUCO guy. He's never really established himself. So he's, especially we get him in 3rd and long, like Wes and I keep saying. But we also, yes, they have talent on the outside, but I mean, we also have talent as well. Between Devin Moore, Helm, Marshall, that's just to name a few. So we can actually, if it's playing man up, we don't have to, safety over top all the time, and that's not even counting potential blitzes. So we're going to bring some heavy pressure, just like Miami of Ohio. They use some stunts and everything, and that's really going to assist with bring Cox, truly get into the quarterback.
Both good picks. I'm gonna go with Agent Zero, Trey Dean. Trey led a team in tackles last week, 14 tackles. Was really good in run support, I think. But this week, I want to see him in coverage. I want to because they're going to throw the ball. I mean, without a doubt, the ball's going to be in the air. I want to see him attacking the guys with the ball in the air. I'd like to see him get a pick this week. I'd really like to see Trey get a pick, maybe get a good return. It's been a long time, I feel like, since we've seen a safety pick. It just feels like it's been a long time, and I'd really like to see us snatch one over the middle and take it the other way, and really just.
And please hold on to the ball.
Now, I was about to say it's probably since Torrance, even though he got the pick, I wish he hadn't got against Georgia last year when he ran. It was like on the 1 yard line. They had to bring it back out, and that's when the avalanche happened. But carry on. I won't talk about that. It's bad memories. Go ahead.
That last season didn't happen, correct? Remember?
Yeah. What's last season? All right. Well, and once again, like we're gonna do it every week, guys. We're gonna just go through and we're gonna kind of talk about our keys to victory and what each of us thinks needs to happen for us to take the W home Saturday night. Mike, start us off. What are your keys?
Pressure burst pipes between once again Brenton Cox. Miami of Ohio, how they got their pressure. I kind of talked about it. They got to be a twist, stunts, and blitzes. Tony definitely has the ability to do that. He can be a lot more loose with his defense. This game, just based on his opponent. So just once again, if you get pressure, Will Levis will collapse. 87 yards last year. He does not have the ability, even though he has talent outside. He doesn't have a running game, so you don't have to stack the box at all. You can just put, maybe 2 backers in there, whatever. So once again, if you put pressure, it's gonna he will fold.
Bess, what are your keys?
Yeah, I'm similar to some of the things that Mike said, but I would like to see a lot of more games, meaning up front with the D-line, Kentucky, with the crowd noise and everything. I would love to see Tony be a little bit more creative with blitz packages and things like that. So that, like I was saying, that they don't have a real good they don't have a really good running game. So hopefully they should be in a lot of 2nd and 10s, 3rd and 8s. So to me, doing that will be big, and I think that'll be advantageous for us on our defense. And maybe we can see those things that I just spoke about as far as the games on 3rd down. Maybe that's the reason why we couldn't see a lot of things on 3rd and 4th. It's kind of hard to do things because you really kind of at the offensive coordinator's mercy because you don't know what he's going to do. So that is something that I'm looking forward to as far as or not looking forward to, that I think is some keys to the victory and stopping Robinson. Robinson, I mentioned that earlier. To me, you want to whoever their best guy with Rodriguez not on the field, Robinson's their guy. We don't care. We don't really give too much credit to Levis. So Robinson's that guy. Got to take him out of the ball game. He can't go for what he did against Miami, even Miami. I don't want that. 6 for 106 is too much. I need him to have a pedestrian game. And to me, those are the keys to victory. And I'm gonna keep hopping on this until I see it. I want a clean game, no turnovers, no penalties, man. No turnovers. We gotta win.
All right. Well, mine are pretty simple. 1, we need to get up and stay up. I want us to get the lead, build a lead, keep the lead. I don't want this back and forth stuff this week. I'd really like to see us break their spirits before halftime. I mean, I want to see us really put the pressure on them. With no run game, we should put all the pressure in the world on them to have to make passes. And, I just want to see us get the pressure on them, man. I want to see us just make Levis. I want Levis to prove that he's a big time quarterback, because I don't think he is.
I don't think he was a good quarterback.
I want to see us do to them what they did to us last year. I want to see 7, 8, 9 false starts in the swamp. I want them to feel the frustrations we felt last year, this year with the crowd and everything. I know they're practicing crowd noise in an open practice field. Well, that don't work. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That ain't gonna do it, guys. And just pressure these guys. Run the ball. Our offensive line ought to be able to just bust them in the mouth and do what we want to do. I know a lot of people are talking about, AR didn't do a lot of passing. Guess what? If AR doesn't need to pass, don't pass. You're far more likely to turn it over in the air than you are on the ground. And if our run game is averaging 5, 6, 7 yards a carry, I don't care if you run it every single play, to be very honest with you. Keep doing it until they stop it. Hell, it worked for LSU against us last year. I'm telling you now, hey, it's the Madden mentality. I'm going to do it till you stop me. I'm going to run the same play over and over and over again until you stop me. And that's just the way it is.
It was literally a team in high school that did that. They literally ran the same play.
And if you can't stop it,
LSU ran the counter.
Look, my dad was a football coach, and his mindset was this: he ran 3 plays out of a wing T formation, and he said, "I'm going to run the same 3 damn plays until they stop me." And I said, "Well, you can't really argue with that if you're scoring 40 points a game."
Yeah.
All right, guys. Score prediction this time. Wes, what's your score prediction?
Hirsch?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually forgot a couple of these. A couple of those, if you don't mind.
Yep.
They also just let AR be AR. Don't force the issue. Just let him do his thing. Make that O-line crumble with the swamp. Make Will Levis beat you. Maul the offensive line. Defensive line be with our O-line. Get them on 3rd and long, pressured offensive tackles. Here's the biggest key: win a special teams battle. No big plays allowed, and like what Wes said, contain Tavion Robinson.
Absolutely. All right, now we're going to get to the score predictions, guys. Wes, what do you got? What's the score going to be?
34-13 UF.
Woo.
Blowout.
Woo. Mike?
34-16.
What is this? The Price is Right?
They got a good field goal kicker.
I gave it 2.
Oh, that's good stuff. I'm gonna go shoosh. I'm gonna go 31-17. I think we're gonna control the ball too much to score over that. But at the same point, I think we'll give up a touchdown late, maybe.
What was your score? I'm counting it too.
Mine's 31-17. 31-17 Gators. 2 touchdown win, but I think we give up a touchdown late. I think we got it in hand, and they grab one late on us when we're kind of maybe got a few younger guys playing. Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we think, guys. If you argue, if you think we got something wrong, let us know, man. We like to hear fans' feedback on maybe what we didn't say, maybe what you think is the key to the game. Hit us up on Twitter. We say it all the time @RespectOurDCN, man. Hit us up. Tell us what you think. We'd love to see. Maybe if you're right, we'll give you a shout out next episode. And that being said, guys, we're going to get to our weekly pick'ems now, man. Last week, oh God, it pains me to say this. Mike took home the dub last week with an 8-2 record.
Can I get the sound?
I mean,
are we really?
I know our
shocked?
collective.
Are we shocked here?
Our collective fan base is like, damn it.
That what? Mike knows ball, and I got robbed. It should have been 9-1, but App State.
Well, man, I can say that too.
You picked Purdue.
You picked Purdue. Had him, man. Purdue had him.
The underdog.
Wes
That's
went
on
6-4 because he picked Oregon to beat Georgia, but we're not going to say that out
Appalachian
loud.
State, they were the underdog.
You were done after the first day.
Appalachian
What
State
was
is
it?
never an underdog.
Oh my
No,
God. You said Purdue was the underdog. Well, what is App? App's not an underdog? Pick them
I
this
didn't
week.
see him as one. Not
pick them this week
because
against Texas
I
A&M.
saw how.
If they score 60 points against the, they ain't much of an underdog. But
pick them against Texas A&M this week. Let me see where you at there. Pick them this week against Texas A&M.
I hear you. All right, guys. Well, we're going to pick this week's slate of games, and joining us now for our weekly pick'em is our first guest picker of the week, CJ McCann. He does all of our artwork for Twitter and YouTube. Man, he's just tremendous help to the show. CJ, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing great. Even better, I'm here with you guys.
What's up, CJ? How you doing, man?
Man, we're so happy to have you on.
I'm glad to be here.
We've been talking about this for a while, man. Having
Yeah.
CJ on.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. This means a whole lot. You know, I enjoy doing the graphics and stuff. You know, I was like, man, I saw that first thing that Hurst posted. I said, man, I can't let my boys go out there with the Snapchat font and I said, man, I could go in the.
He tried, man.
Like
He tried. God bless him. He tried.
Do something here.
Hey, I told Wes from day one that graphics was going to be the hard part because that ain't my thing. Look, I've got a lot of.
We actually shot out a flare gun.
I have a lot of abilities, but that ain't one of them. Art in any way, shape, or form is not one of them. I'm a simple country boy, and
commas.
Mike.
I'm just kidding.
Mike is a grammar Nazi, and we're not going to get into that right now. Because if y'all see him tweet something and it don't look right, I want y'all to make sure y'all hit Mike up on his grammar.
Y'all let Mike know.
Let Mike know that he misspelled a word.
I'm all thumbs today.
All right, guys, we're gonna start it off strong with Hook'em. Texas, Alabama, guys. Texas, Alabama. Anybody here think, CJ, what do you think about Texas, Alabama?
Man, I'm telling you right now, I think Texas scores a touchdown late to make it 56-7.
Woo!
I think Alabama's gonna have 14 on Texas before the band stops playing the national anthem. That's what I think. They need to be off the
CJ
field
is not
good.
lying that Texas is
No.
back.
I think Texas is talented, but they're young. I think they've still got some growing pains out there, and this is going to be a big growing pain. It's going to be a kidney stone of a growing pain.
Guys, do y'all have any different thoughts than CJ on that? Or are we all?
I think this is unanimous, Bama, man.
No, I
think it's unanimous.
I can't pick a team whose quarterback's car got towed during the game.
I was gonna say I got a feeling
I forgot about that.
Will Anderson might knock the mullet off of old Ewers this week. Oh, boy. And Sark being across the sidelines, I don't think that Nick likes to beat up on his old coaches, so I got a feeling this one will be extra bitter. All right, well, Alabama, I don't guess that was real hard. Let's head on up to the Big Orange now, guys. Tennessee, Pitt, a little bit harder of a game, I think. Maybe not though. I mean, Tennessee's offense looked pretty impressive last week. What y'all think, CJ? You lead us all.
I like Pitt having momentum. I'm going to take Pitt. They're coming off a big win in the backyard brawl, and with Tennessee, a team that hadn't won anything in 30 years, you're going to have to prove to me that you're really back. I've heard Tennessee's back for the last 15, 20 years, and yet I haven't seen it. If this will be a good step, if they do it, if they beat Pitt, but I think Pitt's riding momentum. They pulled off a big win last week in the backyard brawl. They got them at home at Heinz Field. I feel like it's going to be another show out by the Pitt fans. I think Pitt takes it. I think they show Tennessee up. I think Pitt's got the offense to run with them.
I like it. Wes, what you think? Wes?
That was a good analysis, CJ.
That was good. Yeah. CJ prepared. I sent him these picks this morning.
He's not messing around, man.
I sent him the picks this morning so he could be well prepared for y'all.
Yeah.
You got a teleprompter there?
Who, me?
Yeah, I'm reading off of it.
Oh, you see the CJ?
My wife made these picks. I'm just going with what she said.
I love it.
Oh man, that's good stuff, man. I'm going with CJ as well. I'm going with Pitt. I'm not a believer in Tennessee, and something wants me to put. My heart wants them to win because I want to go down there 4-0, well 3-0, and I want that game to be big down there in Knoxville. But for some reason they're gonna let me down, and I'm not gonna pick that. I did it last week, and I picked Bo Nix to keep it close against Bama. I'm not falling back in that trap. I'm going with Pittsburgh this week.
All right, Mike.
Tennessee sucks. So I don't. All jokes aside, so I don't. That offense it's a recipe. It's not a good matchup against Pitt. Pitt has a really good overall solid defense. They have a really good defensive line. So that offense is going to top. They're going to get a couple 3-and-outs. It's going to kill their defense. It's going to get them winded. Pitt is solid enough. Slopes. They have a solid offense. They're going to win probably about 11 to 12 points.
Pitt.
Pitt.
All right. This is going to be my one shout out in the year to Luray and Ludon, Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to win this game. I hate saying that. God, I feel dirty. I feel like I need to shower after saying it. But
I hate Tennessee, man.
I hate Tennessee. Wes, your mic is muted. But
I was just saying I wouldn't mind if they win and make it for a good game in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'd rather them have their heads bloated when they play us, to be very honest with you. But
oh yeah.
All right, well, let's move it on down the road, fellas. We're gonna pick one right now. Top 25 matchup: Baylor at BYU. Hit us off, CJ. Start us off. Who's winning? Baylor, BYU.
It's going to be a rough couple of Saturdays for Utah sports fans. You get Utah State gets throttled by Alabama, then Utah loses a heartbreaker in the swamp, and I think Dave Aranda is going to take those Baylor Bears, and that defense is just going to shut them down. I don't think BYU wins this. I like Baylor. I like Baylor to win the Big 12. I think Baylor is a backdoor pick for the playoff. Really, I think that they could really run that gamut over there. Oklahoma's got some things they got to figure out. Texas isn't, usually a threat. West Virginia maybe, but they lost to Pitt. So I think that you're looking at a really good Baylor football team. I'd take Baylor in this game. I think BYU loses. There's no slight against BYU. I just really believe in what Dave Aranda's doing.
Absolutely. Wes?
I agree, CJ. I'm rolling with Baylor too. I like that sneaky pick backdoor into the playoff as well. I think their biggest challenge out there will be Oklahoma State. That though they might be the two teams that battle out for that Big 12 title, but yeah, Baylor's. I believe in Aranda as well. I don't know how long they may be able to keep him there, but yeah, Baylor take the victory.
Mike,
Could it be? Sorry, Brigham Young, but I'm gonna have to go with Baylor. And I'm a huge, like CJ said, I'm a huge believer in Dave Aranda. Sorry, he's a phenomenal coach, and he's best kept secret in college football.
Yeah, my sister's a graduate of Baylor University. I couldn't wholeheartedly not pick Baylor and not be in trouble. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll make it 4 for 4 on the Baylor pick there. All right, staying out there in the Midwest, Iowa State at Iowa. CJ, what you got for us?
Man, I'm telling you, this game here, that's a. You see, I see that Iowa didn't score a touchdown at all against whoever the heck they played, the School for the Deaf and Blind. I mean, how is most of your offense 2 safeties? You're rolling into that game. I'm taking the Cyclones, man. I just feel like the Cyclones can at least put up some points. And at this point, if Iowa can't beat, Mary Persons High School, I don't have any faith in the Hawkeyes. I mean, my uncle's a big Hawkeyes fan. He's from Des Moines, but I'm sorry, I'm taking the Cyclones. I don't think they have any offense to speak of to score some points.
Oh man, that's great. Wes?
Can I go last, man? I'm still thinking.
Okay,
I was
Mike.
Flip a coin.
Yeah, Iowa State can't beat them though for some reason. They lost everybody, so I'm still thinking.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. We'll give you a mulligan for now. Mike, what you got?
I actually saw a tweet. It was like I would really made those kids in a hospital watch that game. So that gave me a little chuckle. But I'm gonna have to go with the Fighting Mike Campbell's, Matt Campbell's. Definitely, I'm not trusting Iowa after that game. Actually, hey, can I? Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Can I take this back?
It's a hard pick, man.
Can I take it back? It's not a hard pick. It's not a hard pick. Can I take it back?
Yeah, go ahead.
Iowa State never beats Iowa.
That's what I just said. That's why it's a hard pick.
They don't know. I forgot. They never beat Iowa.
All right.
Never. But
if they don't do it this time, if Iowa State doesn't do it this time, I better not hear Matt Campbell come up for another coaching job in this dadgum century. I'm sorry, man. That man has come up every stinking year, and he's still at Iowa State.
You're right, CJ. That's why I'm torn. I don't know.
You got to make now you got to make a pick.
They're gonna hold them to 5 points. I'm telling you.
Huh?
Iowa's gonna hold them to 5 points.
They're holding them to 5 points.
Yo, you going against my defense?
Matt Campbell gets it done.
You going against that defense, son? You look at the offense. I'm looking at my defense.
All right, we got it on paper. Wes says Iowa State. I'm also, for some reason, going to give Matt Campbell the benefit of the doubt in this game, and maybe he finally figures out a way to get it done. We got to catch up with Mike somehow, so we got to take some risk out there in the street.
Hey, I'll tell you what, me and those children, bro.
That's
why the kids. I do it for the kids.
He needs to pick before it's hers. Because he's the leader. I gotta flip my picks for him.
Got to put some pressure on him.
Yeah,
their Make-A-Wish is going to be a better football team to watch from their hospital window.
All right, well, we brought this up.
I'll clean the glass myself.
Okay, now hold on. Now we brought it up a second ago. Now we're gonna give Wes a chance to stay in the paint with this. App State at Texas A&M. CJ, hit us off.
This is rough. I mean, I just think North Carolina's that bad. I think they have no defense, so I'm going to have to go with A&M. At some stinking point, Jimbo Fisher's going to have to put this together. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world. He shouldn't even be on the same planet scoreboard with an App State. So you've got to take Texas A&M. I might look like an idiot because Jimbo's got a good, streak of probably losing some games or, having some closer games that he probably shouldn't, and then turn around and he'll beat Alabama somehow. But you got to take A&M here. App State, just played a really bad North Carolina defense.
Mike, we're going to make you go first this time. Wes is thinking.
With what? App State?
App State.
Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
Oh, he ain't doing it. Won't he? Won't he?
I have to see it to believe it.
Give me App State, baby.
Oh,
give me App State.
Taking the Mountaineers.
Let's go. Boone, North Carolina, the most gorgeous campus in the country. Let's
Mike's
go.
got a side piece in Boone.
Let's go.
I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Shout out to my boy Denny, graduate, App State lifer.
I hope he's
Go ahead, Wes.
I hope he's right. I'm going with A&M. I hope he's right, though.
Oh, I'd love App State to win.
Yeah,
I'd love App State to win. I'd love nothing more in the world than App State to win. I love Boone, North Carolina.
Them boys just put up 60.
Man, but I think they fight them. I think they give them 3 good quarters of fight, and I think A&M pulls away in the 4th. And
not with that quarterback. They make a quarterback change, maybe. Not with that quarterback.
Well, we'll see who's right next week. We'll see. All right, now we're back into. Yeah, you might get a point. Staying in the SEC, guys. South Carolina at Pig Suey, Arkansas. CJ, hit us up.
After what I saw from South Carolina against Georgia State, I got to take the Hogs. I love KJ Jefferson. I think KJ Jefferson is he's built kind of like an Anthony Richardson. He's in that kind of mold. He's not Anthony Richardson, but he's in that kind of mold. He's that kind of guy. He's an athlete. He's going to win you games. He's going to keep you in games. I think South Carolina's still a couple of years away. I think Shane Beamer's on the right track. I mean, he's recruiting pretty well. He's got some good players over there. I don't know, Spencer Rattler's ho-hum and a Georgia State team. And Georgia State's not horrible, but they're not supposed to do that. I don't think so. So I'm taking the Hogs. I think the Hogs are probably going to end up finishing second in the West out there this year, based on what I've seen from LSU and Auburn and all those guys.
I like it.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
My dog doesn't like it at all.
Yeah, tell Baxter go what?
Yeah, Sam Pittman is my guy. I picked Sam Pittman and the Hogs to finish second in the West as well. And if Rattler can't win with Lincoln Riley as his head coach and being the quarterback coach and teaching them after what he's just put out back to back, then he just can't win. So I'm not a fan of Rattler. So Hogs got that.
Mike.
Pick Suey. Once again, I'm not a Spencer Rattler fan. He's mentally weak and he's a piece of shit. But the bottom line, they should have at least gone OT against ECU, and this shows not really a good football team. So I'm going with forgot the quarter. Was it KJ Jefferson? Is that a quarterback's name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Art Briles and gang. So,
boy, I tell you right now, guys, I'm glad we don't play Arkansas this year. That would be a damn fight. I'd be a little bit worried in that game. I'd have a hard time with that one right now.
Atlanta.
No doubt. Yeah, and any team I watched some of the highlights of that South Carolina game. If you're out there struggling with Georgia Tech B, we talked about it last week. Spencer Rattler is kind of I don't think he's a good blend there. I don't think that's going to be a good situation at all when it's all said and done. I got to go with Arky myself on this one.
Things can go really bad really fast.
Really fast.
Unless they remove him, he has that
Beamer.
type of
We'll find out what kind of CEO Beamer is dealing with that kid this year. Staying in the SEC, splitting an ACC-SEC matchup here. Number 22, Wake Forest at Vandy. CJ?
Man, Sam Hartman's coming back this week for Wake Forest.
Yep.
But I think he's going to be rusty. I mean, you got to be. I mean, he's had, I guess, no contact or any kind of real playing practice with that kind of injury. And, man, Vanderbilt is stinking rolling. I love that quarterback at Vanderbilt, man. They are entertaining to watch. I think that Wake Forest is just going to be a little rusty. They're going to be a little behind. Give me the Commodores this week. I think Vandy's going to get off to a 3-0 start for the first time since I think dinosaurs walked the earth. So give Vanderbilt the nod this week over a Wake Forest team that's going to be a little rusty. I don't think Hartman's going to be where he could be yet. I think that Wake Forest could rebound. I think he can get better through the season, and I think they can really be competitive in the ACC. But right now, Vanderbilt's got a lot of momentum behind them, so I'm taking the Commodores.
Mike, who you think? Wake and Vandy.
Is that a new quarterback play? Or the veteran?
Wake?
Yeah.
Wake,
Yeah,
that's the
Wake, yeah.
He's
coming back.
Right?
He got cleared. Yeah, he got cleared.
He's back from his blood clot surgery.
It's Wake by double digits. It won't be close.
Wes?
I'm gonna go with Wake too.
He's in the advantage. He's following CJ and I, bro.
I took
CJ called Vandy.
I took Vandy. I took the Harvard of the South.
CJ's in the minority because I'm taking Wake as well.
Vandy, yeah. I like Vandy's coach. All that trash he was talking to SEC media days, saying we're gonna win the SEC. We're not gonna be a bottom feeder. They look good.
It's cute to talk.
I like his confidence. I don't like his team.
Fair enough.
I mean, hey, is it baseball? Is it a baseball game?
Is it a decathlon? I mean, is it a spelling bee?
Athletes?
Quiz Bowl. The Quiz Bowl. Wake Forest and Vanderbilt.
Let's head back out.
Damn good school.
Let's head back out Midwest. It's another questionable slate of games this week people. Y'all got to kind of bear with us on some of these. It's just what we could pick.
Number 24. Herb
24.
sent me a message. He says, "Hey, we're going to get you on with a better slate of games." And I was like, "Okay." So I go look at week 2, and I say, "Man, what games am I missing here? I got Michigan and Hawaii on the docket here."
Trust me, when I looked at it, I was like, "Man, I don't know if we shouldn't have had him last week as bad as this." Number 24, Houston at Texas Tech. CJ, what you think about those guys that I don't know anything about?
Oh man, Houston came, this stinking close to losing the University of Texas San Antonio last week. I mean, it was just by the skin of their little teeth they got out of that thing. And then I don't know a whole lot about Texas Tech, so I mean, this is like a toss-up. You know what? Just give me the Cougars. I think maybe they rebound this week. Maybe they've learned something from last week. Their bout with the Roadrunners. Maybe the Roadrunners are just some powerhouse waiting to bloom that we don't know about. But I'll take
always
the
win. Mike, what you think about this pivotal matchup?
Going with the home team. I got to get the Red Raiders. I like that coach as well. Gut feeling.
Wes?
Going with Houston.
Houston it is.
This week is where champions will be made.
Yeah, we truly. Vanderbilt and Wake Forest
I'm gonna go ahead.
You wait for that App State game, baby. You wait for that App State game. Just start tagging me and say, "God, it's
I'm gonna go ahead and take Texas Tech on this one as well because I like the home team. I don't know enough about either team to argue one way or another. So go with the home team. All right. Golly, this next one's like picking your stepmother versus your, Louisville and UCF, guys. Oh boy. Ugh. Gross. CJ, what you think?
Louisville got bludgeoned by Syracuse. I'm talking beat them out the building. I'm taking UCF. I don't know why, really, other than just you can't get beat that bad by Dino Babers and freaking Syracuse Orange men up there in the Carrier Dome, and just convince me you have a good football team. I'm sorry, I gotta go with the Knights on this one.
Wes?
Yeah, I'm going with the Knights as well, man. I hate to do it, but Louisville, I was thinking they would be good this year, but same old Louisville.
Mike, I know who you're probably picking, but go ahead and tell us why.
I'm going to the skill position killer himself, Gus Malzahn, and UCF.
Yeah, this team is just built right for Gus. I hate picking UCF to do anything.
He's got a perfect team for him. Plumlee at quarterback. It's his best quarterback since Nick Marshall.
Oh yeah, he's in the catbird seat right now with what he's got around him. He's probably going to run away with that whole thing this year. All right, last game on the slate. Back to the SEC. Mississippi State, Arizona. CJ, take it home on us, man.
Yeah, hey man, give me Start Vegas. Give me the Cowbells. Give me the Bulldogs. I got a good friend who's a Mississippi State fan, so I'm taking the Dogs. I like Will Rogers. Plain and simple. I like Will Rogers. I think Will Rogers is probably one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the SEC. He throws that ball all over the place. I love his arm. I love his talent. I think Mike Leach is going to put him in a position to really put up a lot of yards and produce one of those really good quarterbacks. So I'm taking Mississippi State. I don't really see much out there at Arizona. They've gone through a few head coaches. There's really nothing to get excited about out there. It is going to be a bit of a journey for them to go out to Arizona. The game's slated for 11 o'clock on our time zone. I mean, I'll be walking out of Ben Hill Griffin about that time when they kick off. So give me the Bulldogs. I think they take it against Arizona. Maybe I'll catch the fourth quarter when I get back to my hotel.
Awesome. Wes?
Yeah, I think that will only be like an hour for them though, for Mississippi State, because they're like an hour. They're like Central Time, right? Mississippi, I believe.
Yeah, they're an hour behind us.
Yeah. So okay, I'm with you though. I'm gonna go with Leach. I think he just he does what he does, and Arizona has nothing to stop what Mississippi State is going to do. So like you said, they change coaches frequently. If it was Arizona State, I might go. That might be different for me, but it's not Arizona State, so I'm gonna go with Mississippi State.
Mike,
I'm gonna go with the one of the best followers on Twitter, Mike Leach. So I mean, in Arizona, anything in the state of Arizona, football wise, this is not good. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with Mississippi State myself. I think this might be one of them 55-45, games you wake up the next morning and be like, my gosh, what happened there?
Basketball
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I mean that's those games always turn into a shootout. Well, hot dang, man, that was good stuff. CJ, man, we appreciate you coming on and doing the pick'ems with us, man. You came ready to bring some knowledge to the table. You're definitely we're gonna have you back for another pick'em without a doubt.
I'd love to come back. I'll come back anytime you guys want me to.
Absolutely. If we ever don't have a guest on and we just need the extra picker, we might have to throw you.
You just need a body. Just call me.
Absolutely.
I can fill that spot.
Gator Nation, real quick, a little bit of breaking news. Depth chart just released for next week. No real changes on it. One notable thing that I do see, Lorenzo Lingard is listed on the depth chart this week. So I don't all the way know what the situation was last week. None of us do, and it's really not our business, I don't guess.
Where's he at on there?
He's number 4 in the running back. I mean, it's just the running backs listed in order like they were last week.
Because he didn't dress, right?
I don't think so last week.
That's a quiet suspension. That's what that is. If you ain't dressed, because you can put on a jersey.
Yeah, it's Naquan.
He got in trouble.
It's Naquan, Montrell, and then Etienne or Lingard for that third spot. So hopefully we get to see the young man do something this week, even if it's late in the game or whatever. I mean,
return some kicks.
I would still I wouldn't mind seeing him back there to return a kick, but I think coaches feels pretty safe with having X and them boys back there doing that. I'd really like to see us break one this week. I'm tired of watching the same old kick return. If you're not gonna, if not, just fair catch it and let's move on.
Yeah.
Just don't muff it. As long as you don't muff it, I'm okay right now. Just don't drop that ball.
That's the key, man. No turnovers this week. No turnovers. No momentum loss. Guys, another great show. Another great week. I think we all feel pretty good about this week's game and the chances of coming out of the swamp Saturday night 2-0. Guys, I can't state enough. Make sure you're following us on our social medias this weekend. Mike will be back in the trenches. Another week of Mike in the trenches coming at you with videos, photos, live experience, post game Mike in the trenches.
Pandemonium in the streets.
Mike Pneumonia, Mike's voice, Mike's voice meter. We'll see where he's at by the end of the game. Maybe we blow it out and he gets to keep some of it this week. We'll see how it goes. But once again, guys,
it's supposed to be a wet one.
I actually had one in my bag, but you know what? Nick Delatorre told me I couldn't put it on. So
what's that?
I'm gonna wear mine. I don't feel like I want to get soaked, so I think I'm gonna wear mine this weekend.
It's too hot to get too wet, man. You can't get that.
Luckily, I had a shirt. It was a shirt before the shirt and hat before the hat that one got wet.
This guy's the most.
It's Florida weather. Who knows? It might not even rain.
Mike's the most prepped man in America. I'm telling you, Mike is a veteran.
I have my backpack there. Oof.
Mike's gonna carry a fanny pack to the next game.
It's a satchel.
With satchel, yeah, with his 5 or 6 5-hour energy drinks, a little honey bear bottle.
It was only 3.
So 5-hour energy. If anybody from your company listens to this podcast, we're terrific sponsorship opportunity. Mike is always a big fan of your product and would like some free samples. So
Yeah, Mike's slamming 15-hour energy at this
extra
point.
energy shots
Extra energy, extra.
because the Walgreens off the university doesn't have regular.
He's a fiend for
only is
caffeine.
regular.
Check the new Publix. See if they've got it.
All right.
Guys, we want to thank you all one more time. All your support, all your love, all your downloads that you've given us. Once again, just make sure you don't forget to download each and every episode and turn on your notifications for the latest and greatest in Gator football. Subscribe on all your platforms. Subscribe on our YouTube channel. Make sure if you go on your YouTube channel, guys, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and the like button and hit the notification bell. Every time we drop a video, you'll get a notification that it's out. And just keep showing that love, man. We can't thank y'all enough. And don't forget about our Patreon, respectourdecision.com. If you'd like to help us as creators, you can always find that link also on our link tree on our Twitter page at respectdcn. And if you just want to hit us up and ask us any questions anytime, somebody's always checking it. We're always there. We love the interaction with everybody, man. Gator Nation is one big family, and we love you all. Mike, you got anything to add?
No, it's just it's nice to put a face to the name with CJ. Also, what I think we need to ask him score prediction for the game.
Oh yeah, CJ, score prediction. We didn't get to ask you, buddy.
Oh yeah, I'll take. Let's see. Let me take. I have to think about this. I'm you take the Gators. I'm taking the Gators 31-10. I think we score early.
It's doable.
I think we score early. I think it might be close through the half. I think it might be 14-10 at half.
He's right on the same page
like
I was, except I think they'll score one late when we're not really as focused, maybe. But hey, any way we take it, man, we'll take 2-0 every day of the week, and I hope it's a revenge game. I really hope these guys come out and show that wasn't the real Gator football team they played last year, and we washed the Kentucky stink of Dan Mullen off of us and get back to being what we're supposed to be against the basketball school from the Bluegrass State.
But hey,
CJ,
last thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so being at the game, it was obviously ridiculous. Hey, we just got to continue, Gator Nation. We got to continue that noise level. Help out the team, and also the most notable thing, Bateman got us.
And we sold out. So the game sold out for Kentucky. It's standing room.
Gotta love the excitement, man. Gotta love the excitement around this program right now. This is what it's supposed to feel like to be a Florida Gator each and every week. And we got to keep that up, man. And if something doesn't go our way, just remember, man, just stay vigilant, stay up, stay hyped. Don't let one bad play take you out of the game, because that team's counting on your energy level just as much as anything. Y'all are, we're not called the 12th man, but the rowdy reptiles, and everything that everyone wants to call us, we're every bit of, and we're loud. CJ, man, once again, thank you for all you do for us, man. We appreciate you so much. It's great to have you on. Can't wait to have you on again. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys follow me on Twitter. I'm just there for the memes. I'm just there for the memes.
Yeah,
guys, I want to troll fan bases. That's where I'm at. I've got bookmarks for days at this point.
Mike loves your energy.
It's just, that's what I'm there for. Have a good time, talk Gator football. You guys, just hit me up. I enjoy having as many people to interact with as I can about this team I love. I live in Georgia, so it's kind of nice.
I'm with you, brother. Another South Georgia man. That man, you're close though. You're closer to Florida than I am.
Yeah, I'm 30 minutes north of Tallahassee. So,
drop your
Tallahassee's Georgia now.
Yeah, we don't claim that. CJ the Man McCann. I've got it on the screen. Just shoot me a follow, and I'll follow you back. I mean,
for those of you that just listen to us on the podcast, and CJ at CJ the Man McCann. Great Twitter follow, great Gator. And with that being said, Wes, take us home, baby.
Yeah. Again, thank you again, CJ. Shout out. Thank you guys for following us. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Also, we're just started our Facebook page a couple weeks ago, so look for content, news, and everything on there as well. That's Respect Our Decision as well. So I'll be having things on there for you guys to follow and get news from it as well. So invite other people there. You can find us there too on Facebook. And again, if any veterans out there, if you know any veterans out there, if you're a veteran yourself, please reach out to us as well. We'll get back to you if you know someone that's trying to get benefits or have any questions about their benefits. We thank you. We love you, Gator Nation. We love the support we've been getting. As Hirsch has continued to say, those likes and those that subscribing and notification, that really, really help us out. So if you guys can do that for us, we really appreciate you. And thank you guys for listening. Beat Kentucky this week. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Gators.
Yes, sir. Go Gators.
We love you, Gator Nation. See you Monday morning on our Raw Reaction show. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one.